Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Ann. Thank you so very much for tuning in. I pray that you're having the most amazing day or night, whatever time you're watching this video. And it's taking me a little time to kind of get through, and by the grace of God, I am even delivering this now. As of course, schedules get busy and different things like that. But I also wanted to make sure I understood what God was saying, because um, these are very important. These videos are very important when when we're looking for a word from God, when we are just like, God, I'm praying, I'm doing all these things, I really like, do you hear me? And he's like, yes, I hear you. And then he sends you people. So of course you always take everything back to God and just make sure that whatever you're watching is for you, because I would jump on the bandwagon each time something came out, and each time a video came out, just because it was at the top of my page or whatnot, doesn't mean that God sent it. So it's really just having a spirit of discernment and understanding what was sent to you and what God is trying to tell you. So of course I always say, he has either confirmed it, he either confirms it through his word, after I've watched the video, or he also has been speaking to me about it, and then I see something that confirms it. So I'm like, oh, okay, God, like, I hear you, I gotcha. So today I'm going to break down probably about three number sequences that he's been showing me the same number over and over again. I didn't even really know what some of these numbers meant, of course, so I had to do my research and really ask God to help me understand what I was reading. So I am going to start with the number that I've been seeing. I would say, well, all of them I've been seeing the most, so let's just start here. Okay, so God is so amazing the way he's been showing me the numbers 222, and it could be waking up from a nap that I just maybe put, I don't know, I'm gonna take like a 45-minute nap, 30-minute nap, or whatever, and I put that on the timer, and when I wake up and look at the phone, it's 222. So I got off the phone one day with a call, 222, and I just, it was like just seeing it a lot on my phone. And then I was sitting outside of Panera Bread, which I'll come back to later, and lo and behold, I mean, that's why it's good to stay in the moment with God, because this guy, he walks by with 222 tatted on his right leg. Okay, so it was like on the back of his right leg. And I was like, God is so amazing, right? So let's kind of take a look at that. So it says, and then so of course Genesis 2:22, right, where we're talking about how God took the rib of man and made woman. So it says, and then the Lord God made a woman from the rib. He brought her to her man. God is, of course, preparing us, right? He is been speaking to me about a lot of different things that he wanted me to do as it relates to preparing for marriage, but like changing my habits, changing my eating habits, my cleaning habits, my hygiene habits, lots of different things that I've needed to pay more attention to as it relates to being in a marriage, and just kind of thinking, okay, it's not just me, or not just going to be anymore. Maybe I should pick that up or clean that up this way, or do this or that. So it's just a lot of really tuning into God and asking him and sitting with him and really listening. Okay, this is what you want me to do. And so of course he's preparing us. And so as I was diving more into this word, and I discovered some things about creation of woman, right? So the Hebrew word for creation of woman means banah, B-A-N-A-H, meaning to build. God built up the woman from Adam's rib. Okay, so you know that we, as wives, as Proverbs 31 women, we are going to we're going to need to build our men up. They go through a lot, and not to say that we don't as women, but they go through a lot going out there, you know, in the workforce, you know, every single day as men, having to wear so many hats as a provider and taking care of the family, while also trying to figure out how to navigate through life and take care of themselves, and then lead us, and then lead the household, and then lead the children, and you know, all those different things. So it's going to be very important that we build our husbands up, being patient with them, and really thinking about, you know, all the what we've prayed for, because I know sometimes it's easy to kind of see it now, right? Like we're excited, we're happy, we know that what we've been praying for, and when we get there to our promised land, you know, not to let a lot of petty things get in our way of doing what we need to do for our husbands. So maybe he didn't take out the trash, and we stomping around the house, and you know, all of those things. But we have to stop and remember. I even wrote myself a letter of encouragement for when I start to feel like I just want to be petty and not cook something to eat or say this or that I would remember how hard and how long I waited for this time to come, and to just kind of like let a lot of stuff go. It doesn't mean we don't discuss it later, or you know, different things like that come up, because communication in a marriage is super duper important. But it also means, you know, like picking your battles. What am I going to battle with today? You know, is this really that important, or can I let it go, or even bring it back up later when we're both in a good headspace to even talk about it? But definitely building the man up, praying for him every single day, even when you don't like him that much. But it's still important to pray for him every single day and cover him, because the enemy would love nothing more for us to not pray for our husbands, to be upset at them, to just start doing things that would pull you further apart rather than getting you closer the way of God designed. Now, there are some things that God will, you know, send for us to strengthen us, but we definitely have to be careful not to let the enemy get in our minds and start telling us to do stupid stuff like, I don't want to cook for him, I don't want to have sex with him, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. Because the Bible says that, you know, even for sex, you know, not withholding it, and you know, using that as a weapon to get some, you know, their husband to do something that you want them to do, or because they haven't done something. But you know, when the Bible talks about how you know, unless it's agreed upon by both of you, you know, like if you're fasting or something like that, then you know, you abstain from sex. But there are times when we are gonna have to have sex even when we don't want to, and not to say that it's like gonna be like a forceful thing. It's just that, you know, in the marriage, our bodies belong to each other, and so sometimes that means sacrificing these different things to make sure that our husbands are satisfied, or you know, vice versa. So it's really understanding. Like, I really had to get my head out of the clouds about marriage a long time ago. It is nothing like you see on TV. It is work, you know, but it's beautiful if you put in the work, if you allow God to be that third cord and let nothing tear you apart. It is beautiful, and it's going to be beautiful. You're going to have a beautiful marriage. Well, that means trusting God, prayer, not allowing the enemy to come in into your thoughts and seep in so that we start doing little petty stuff. So we're going to need to build them up, build our men up. They go through a lot day to day. When they come home, give them a minute, support them. How was your day? Ask the Holy Spirit for discernment before we just mouth off, and because we've had a bad day. Take some time to just observe your husband and be the helper. We are the helpmates, right? We are the companions. There are beautiful advantages to companionship because we are going to be holding each other up, back to back, so we can watch the enemy, right, creeping out, trying to creep on in, and then again having Jesus as that third cord. So building him up. And then when I saw it on the right leg, so I was like, okay, God, what may you be trying to say about the leg? The leg, of course, means strength, security, prosperity. Our men need to be able to depend on us as wives. And so we are going to have to make sure we're taking care of ourselves, of course, having our taking care of ourselves, of course, having our me time, checking in, what do I need to be good at the end of the day, right? What kind of, do I need 5 or 10 minutes of quiet time or getaway time, or do I need a hot shower, or do I just, maybe need to slow down, eat, nourish myself, all of those things. What can we do to just take a minute or a few minutes to make sure that we are okay, so that we can be the strength for our husbands. I pray every day for the strength of my husband. Am I married yet? No. Coming real soon. But I pray every day for his strength, his peace. I ask God to cover him, be a holy wall of fire round about him. I mean, you know what I mean? I go for it because I want my husband to be good. I want him to be protected. The enemy would love nothing more than to continue to tear away at the structure of family that God has designed, where it's God, the man, the wife, and then the kids, and then everything else. Because when that structure is off, it's just different. And so yeah, we're going to be building them up. See what flows. Look at God. So I told you I was going to come back to Panera Bread. So when I was at Panera Bread and get me something to drink, they had that unlimited sip club. Be so good. So anyways, I was walking by, I was going to the bathroom, or maybe to get my drink, I'm not sure, but I saw the name Karen on a bag of I don't know, somebody was picking up some food. So I was like, okay, it kind of stood out a little bit. And then they called Karen to come get her food, and they called it a couple of times. Okay, and I was like, okay. Then I had been unpacking this word for about a week or so, and then another lady, totally different lady, she came in with her medical badge, or I don't know, it was kind of like embroidered in her uniform. So I was like, okay, God, you're speaking to me about the name Karen. So I did some research on that, of course. And Karen means a lot of different things. It means pure, regarding to our heart, our soul, and our mind. Moral purity, where we should be, or our ultimate goal as we pursue to live in a way that honors God and remember the sacrifice of Jesus. So it also meant the number 2. And as I was looking up the numerology of that name, it is associated with balance, harmony, cooperation, intuition, just like that woman's intuition. So balance, we bring balance to our husbands, right? We are the helpmates, right? We bring the peace. We are the peace. we cooperate. Now, it doesn't mean like, we could be on some, whatever it is you say, what's that movie called? Whatever it is you like, Coming to America, type thing. But we will, as wives, keep the peace, keep the balance within the relationship, and just keep a peaceful home. Now, am I saying it will be that way 24/7? Absolutely not. However, we do have certain responsibilities as wives. I think it was in First Peter chapter 3, where it talks about how even sometimes when the husband is not on his best behavior, we as wives, we have to guide him back to God through our behavior, through our mercy and grace towards our husband, because there's going to be a lot of grace and mercy to give within a marriage. We are really going to study in 1 Corinthians 13, love, where it's not boastful, it doesn't keep records of wrong, it doesn't I can't think of all the words right now, for my mind is kind of late a little bit too, but these are the things I would say definitely go back and study, because we are definitely going to be the glue that holds our husbands together. So that's why we have to be strong. That's why God is building us up now and taking us through a process to where we will be that for our husbands. So the value number of 2, balance, harmony, and cooperation. It also means pure, clearness, clarity. God is clearing up a lot of different things, questions that we may have had, the when, the where, the whys, the whats, all the things we like to know. But God is like, trust me, I got this. Like, I've been doing this for a long time now. So I've also been seeing 113, which means Lord, like master, and one of the meanings is husband. I see that like often. I'm talking about like like the way God, the number sequences happen is so interesting. On my phone, or we have a clock that's kind of broken. Well, it's not broken, it's just not set right, and it's on our radio. And so sometimes when I walk by that, it's up there, and it might be on my phone, and so that clock is on its own time. It's just not even set to anything, but it's just being in the moment and noticing how the way God speaks to us, because he speaks to us through so many different ways. And it's always good for when you see these things and when people are releasing these words to take it back to him and make sure you're hearing what you're hearing or seeing what you're seeing. So I see that multiple times a day. And what that was associated with, 113 was associated with, is Genesis 24. And so if you don't know that, that's the story of Isaac and Rebekah. And I'm looking up all of these, 113, 222. I'm looking up all of these things in the Strong Concordance. So that's where I get the information from. And so in the Strong Concordance down below where it describes what 113 may mean, it has like a lot of references to Genesis 24. And so basically it was telling the story of Isaac and Rebekah, where Abraham sent his servant to find a wife for his son Isaac. He was very specific. Please don't come back with certain type of women. God just wouldn't like that. But so he sent him on that task. The servant, he prayed to God, and he was like, if she if I see, I forgot exactly how it goes, but basically, if this woman asks me if, I need something to drink, and, if my camels need something to drink as well. So he prayed a very specific prayer to to God to let him know if that was him or not. So don't be afraid to pray specific prayers as well to know. It also talks about in that story how there was an angel assigned to them or went ahead of him. So we have angels assigned to us for our marriages, so we can relax. I know it can look crazy and, God, am I doing this? Am I doing that? He's God. He already knows every step, every thought we're going to have. He knows how to lead us and guide us. He knows everything. So we can relax and know that he's with us. So anyways, so he's like, okay, I prayed this prayer. This is what happened. He went, of course, and met her family and, talked to them about some, different things, what his prayer was, how he knew that that was the wife for Isaac. And I think the family tried to keep her for 10 days. He was like, no. And she was like, peace. Like, I'm about to get up out of here. I'm about to go get married. But yeah, so he ends up going back to, back with the servant, Abraham's servant, and Rebecca. They see each other and they're just like infatuated. And so, of course, I think around that time, Sarah had died. And so she was a great comfort for Isaac in his time of need. So we are going to comfort these men in their time of need, comfort our husbands, what they need. I have a nonprofit where it caters to men's and mental health. And when I tell you, I see the strongest of men every single day who have the biggest hearts, and they have big fears and big concerns, and they can't talk about their feelings because society says that they can't, that they have to be a strong man all the time. And then if they're vulnerable, then they're viewed as weak. And so we have to be really careful and delicate with these husbands' feelings, and when they communicate something to us, and not throw it back in their face, not criticize, not condemn or anything like that. But most of the men that I talk to, they just need someone to listen. No interruptions until they get it all out. Sometimes they may take long pauses, but that's just because they're trying to collect their thoughts and understand how they feel. Women, the girls, we practiced this when we were younger, but the men, they did not. So they just need time, to be able to understand how to express their feelings. And so I don't even know where that came from, but it must have been something God wanted me to say. So just being gentle with them and their feelings. They're strong, but they need us to be create a space of vulnerability and create a space where they feel comfortable talking to us. And so and in this also, they go to a land, in this story, they go to a land called Bir Lahai Roi. And that, if you remember, that's the same place that Hagar was when she was out in the wilderness, and she had ran from her master's house because, Sarah was tripping and stuff. But, yeah, and so it says she was out in the wilderness. God sees us. Yeah, God sees us in our waiting. El Roy means God who sees us. That's where I got that from. And he sees us in our waiting. He sees our tears. He sees our longings. He sees everything that we've wanted. And I know we hear at his perfect timing so many times. I'm just like, well, God, when is the perfect time? But it's coming. And it's going to be so beautiful. We are not even going to remember the times when we did not have our husbands around. So definitely bring that fear to him with everything. And then the last thing I've been seeing, y'all, so many beautiful things. Bellies, big bellies. I mean, bellies are sticking out there like these women about to pop. And we are, a lot of us are going to be having kids super quick. If God has been speaking to you about preparing your bodies, I take prenatal vitamins and different things like that, and to help my iron and stuff. And so I'm trying to make sure I am good, you know, practicing good nutrition, different things like that. So those things are important. I've been seeing the number 611, which means to give an answer, to part, to separate, to give an answer. Just say yes. I saw that on a poster when I was at Panera Bread. It was a different Panera Bread, but I mean, like, okay, God, just be all up in Panera Bread telling me a whole bunch of stuff. But 611 is to give an answer, to give a decision, right? And of course, our answer is going to be yes, okay? So just say yes. I don't know what the title of this video is going to be, but God has just shown me so many different things. I just wanted to make sure that I got them out for you. So definitely, yeah, so 611. Again, that's found in the Strong Concordance. And we are going to be, of course, separating from our families and becoming one flesh with our husbands. I am so very excited, you know, as we have waited so long for this. And I've been seeing these numbers a lot. And I was watching another video and it was saying how, you know, if you're seeing, yes, like maybe they trickle in, but then if you're seeing them back to back to back, of course, you know, we're all getting closer because we've been waiting, you know, for a while now. But we had to prepare for this process because these marriages are not just about us. They are about, you know, being the light, you know, and taking out the kingdom of darkness, bringing souls to God, you know, being witnesses, our marriages being witnesses, you know, to God, for other people. So it's going to be so many different things. And, you know, as much as we've waited, it's not totally about us. Are we going to have beautiful marriages? Of course we are. But it's just not totally about us. So we really have to, you know, kind of get out of our feelings sometimes and know that it's coming. I know we see other people. I know that we've waited long. I know that we've prayed hard. We've done what we needed to do. But God is just saying that it's coming. And it's here. Just be, you know, patient. He's not a man that he should lie. His word's not going to come back void. So it's like feeding yourself these things as well to make sure that you know what God said. In his timing, it's going to be beautiful. And we already know it's close and near. So just continue to prepare. Continue to pray for your husbands every single day and just cover him. Get used to that if you're not doing that already. Practicing your self-care. Taking your time. Making sure things are clean. One day he sent me a video. It was like, girl, how you going to manage this if you don't even keep your car clean? I was like, okay, Father, okay. So, you know, just different things like that. So, of course, always take this word back to God. I can't stress that enough. When you are so excited and you see these different things that may pop up, you just want to grab hold of everything, but it has to be specifically for you. Sit with him. He'll either, I've opened my Bible, y'all, after I've watched a word, and it is on the exact scripture that he's just, I'm like, yo, Jesus, okay, I see you. He is amazing. And he just continues to do beautiful things for me, sending provisions, you know, for me. So I'm very thankful to him. So again, just take this back to him and make sure that it's for you. That's the best thing I can tell you. And then just continue that hope. Faith, having faith. I know we don't see it, but we continue to hope for it, right? That's faith. So I love you. I pray that you have a great day or night. That's all that I have, I believe. Yep, that's all that I have. And so have a good night or day, whatever time you're watching this video. And until next time, I will see you. Bye.